All right, here we go again. Shana Tova. Shana Tova. Good Yantif. Good Yantif. Chag Sameach. Chag Sameach. Shabbat Shalom. No, just got you. Welcome. I remembered what I wanted to tell you. If you wanted a talit, the prayer shawl, this is the one night of the year. A lot of people ask me this question that you are permitted to wear one. So we're going to be putting them on in a bit. But if you wanted to get one, we have a prayer talit rack that's right in the front. And please feel free, people don't take them for enough. So come on, if you want the tradition, it'd be wonderful.
Do we have sound back there? Can you hear us now? Good, thank you.
So I wanted to begin with a poem from Yehuda Amichai. Amichai always inspires me, the famous poet laureate from Israel. Not like a cypress, not like a cypress, not all at once, not all of me, but like the grass and thousands of cautious green exits, to be hiding like many children while one of them seeks. And not like the single man, like Saul, whom the multitude found and made king, but like the rain in many places and from many clouds, to be absorbed, to be drunk by many mouths, to be breathed in like the air all year long and scattered like blossoming in springtime. Not the sharp ring that wakes us up, the doctor on call, but with tapping on many small windows at side entrances with many heartbeats. And afterward, the quiet exit, like smoke without shofar blasts, a statesman resigning, children tired from play, a stone as it almost stops rolling down the steep hill in the place where the plain of great renunciation begins, from which, like prayers that are answered, dust rises in many myriads of grains. We take a nice deep breath of Yom Kippur air. We have arrived. The most important thing sometimes is just being present with one another. All of the things we hope to take care of in our life, we have time. Just arriving is the start. I'd like to invite over Bruce Chorus to officially welcome you.
L'Shana Tova, everyone. On this most solemn day of the year, I'm filled with joy because I see so many of my temple family here tonight. And we have continued to take steps forward. This week, we're back to recommending these, and that's a good thing. So we appreciate those of you that are wearing the masks, and we appreciate everyone respecting those that are. It is a personal choice, but we like to think of each other, and the numbers are a little concerning. So we're not going to take any chances. And if you wish to wear a mask, thank you for doing so. And if not, that's okay. It is your choice. We are bringing back another of our nice traditions tonight. As we have moved forward in the high holidays, we've been bringing back some traditions. And tonight, we are bringing back the tradition of having past presidents sitting up on the bima for the service. Marty Wolpin is here, Adrian Crandall is here, Jill Hamilton is here, Randy Spivak has said he would do it. So if you guys would like to come on up and join us on the bima for Kol Nidre, it's a nice tradition to have our past presidents up here. As a past president, it's nice to be part of it. And of course, this week, it's a good thing we're doing it because we don't have the current president. You may have noticed that he's not here. Sadly, Todd is under the weather. So we are missing him this evening, but we have a nice group to fill in. And again, for me, it's a joyful evening. As solemn as it is, it just fills me with joy to see so many people here tonight. So L'Shana Tova, good Yontif. I can't say go Bills, I could say way to go Bills. And Rabbi and the cantor and all the musicians, it takes a village to put together a high holiday service, and they put together a nice one for you this evening. L'Shana Tova. Happy New Year.
We turn to page 2, and if you are observing the custom of putting on the prayer shawl, the talit, then please rise and we'll do it together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzi. Blessed are you, God, King of the universe, who sanctifies us through commandments and commands us to wear our fringe garment to remember the corners of our lives. I'd like to invite up Karen and Howard Weissman to lead us in the Yom Kippur candle on page number 9, followed by the Shekianu.
Baruch atah Adonai, noteach b'tocheinu chaye olam. You are blessed, Eternal One, who places within us life everlasting. Read with me responsibly. The human spirit is the lamp of God, searching out what lies within us.
Guided by the flame of conscience, on this sacred night we search for truth.
Shine your light upon us as we strive to serve you. May we find safety in your faithful love.
We light the flame of healing and forgiveness. On this atonement night, we give thanks for love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu b'haner shel Yom HaKippurim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Yom HaKippurim. And we'll go right into the Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'eloheinu
Blessed are you, God, who brings us life, allows us to be present in this moment and arrive here today. And we say, Amen.
Amen.
We're going to turn now to a reading on page number 14, Yom Kippur, Our Humanity. And I'd like to invite up Phil and Marta Hersbrunn to lead us. Here, we have it here. If you wanted it, it's bigger here. When you come up.
Yom Kippur, the Jewish people's festival of the soul, and Kol Nidre, its sacred portal, a night of deep emotions, a night, as the psalmist wrote, to rejoice with trembling.
We rejoice at the sound of Kol Nidre, rhythmic words of release from vows, oaths, and promises to God we fail to keep.
We tremble at the melody, music of spiritual amazement that fills us with awe as we stand before God and Torah.
We rejoice that we stand together, strengthened by community in this hour of shared weakness and humility.
We tremble, for tonight we confess our flaws, admit our imperfection, and acknowledge a power far beyond our understanding.
We rejoice that we commit ourselves to great endeavors because we feel so deeply and think so nobly.
We tremble, for we find that our ideals are far greater than our ability. Our promises surpass our might.
We rejoice in the freedom that is Kol Nidre's true gift, the freedom to begin a new year without fear of failure, to aspire to be God's image in the world.
We tremble because we are mortal. We rejoice in our gratitude for life. We rejoice with trembling and enter Kol Nidre to face humanity.
I love that. You planned the whole thing out. It was wonderful. We turn to the introductory prayer for Kol Nidre, the Or Zarua, page 16. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance and joy for the pure of heart.
Or Zarua la tzadik, ולيשרה לב שמחו. אור זרוע לצדיק, ולישרה 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 לב שמחו.
With one voice, assembled sages, past and present, declare all may pray as one on this night of repentance. Let none be excluded from our community of prayer. With one voice, God and congregation proclaim all may pray as one on this day of return. Let all find a place in this sacred assembly. We turn to the Kol Nidre itself on page 18. It's fitting that it's on page 18, the central prayer that we have. We have three different ways that we're going to be doing this. First, we take in the English and we'll read it together. Next, we will have the cello and be able to hear just the music, that traditional music for Kol Nidre, and then the cantor and the choir to present the Kol Nidre. On that last one, we'll all rise with the Torah. Bruce will be holding it for our community, all the presidents, and we will symbolically say to one another in this moment, we are there for each other. make the commitments that you need to make this world better, but also sometimes say no, if that's okay as well. Together, let's do the English. All vows, resolves, and commitments, vows of abstinence and terms of obligation, sworn promises and oaths of dedication, that we promise and swear to God and take upon ourselves from this day of atonement until next day of atonement. May it find us well. We regret them, and for all of them we repent. Let all of them be discarded and forgiven, abolished and undone. They are not valid and they are not binding. Our vows shall not be vows. Our resolves shall not be resolves. And our oaths, they shall not be oaths. rise as the ark is opened. You may be seated. What a magnificent job they did. Page 20. We read together. All shall be forgiven, the entire community of Israel and the stranger who lives in their midst, for all have gone astray in error. So meaningful to be here tonight, despite the fact that we needed masks again. It's beautiful to see one another. Each of us matters so much to one another. And to be able to do the traditions that have been handed down to us for many, many generations. It's a great honor for us to be up here to do this. Let me take you back to a beautiful day this past August. We had a beautiful August, didn't we? It was magnificent weather. Other than June, I think it was a little rainy. Everything else has been magnificent. Ashira, the kids, and I were at a park, kicking a soccer ball around, lying on the grass, playing cards, and generally just relaxing. The weather was perfect, and it was one of those kind of days where the hours just passed so beautifully. Before you knew it, it was time to leave. When it was finally time to go, we noticed that the back of one of my children's shirts was covered in big splotches of green. I'm sure you've been there. Goose poop, right? This is very familiar in Western New York. This, of course, was their favorite shirt. And they had somewhere to go right away that they needed a good shirt. I was just heading home. So what to do? I looked down at my wonderfully clean Buffalo Bills shirt. Of course, I was wearing a Buffalo Bills shirt. And the choice was obvious. And that is how I found myself driving home in a shirt 2 sizes too small, with its back covered in goose poop. There was something about this experience, though, that made me happy. I had often heard of the mitzvah, and it is a mitzvah, as we'll see, of giving the shirt off of your back. But I believe this was the first time I ever had a chance to test it out. The moment felt so profound. Being able to literally give the shirt off my back to someone I loved made me so happy as a parent, as a Jew, and just as a human being. What is it about us as human beings that so many of us are willing to step in at a moment's notice, not just for family members or community members, but for complete strangers? More than just lending a shirt, we willingly give our time, energy, money towards people and causes that matter, even if we aren't personally attached to them. This winter, we saw this firsthand, as 3 feet of snow blanketed our region in less than 24 hours. And ungodly winds, I don't know, it must have been 100-mile-per-hour winds, swirled around us, cutting us off from airports, highways, and even our front doors. How many of you were here in Buffalo during the blizzard? It was quite something, right? This was no mere blizzard. This was a Buffalo blizzard. Tens of thousands of us, including many of you, as you sowed, were kept without power for days, trapped, cold, scared, and alone. It was in this moment of biblical calamity that something amazing happened. People found each other. People helped each other. People saved each other. Piloting snowmobiles, trekking around in snowshoes or skis, private citizens stepped in where the government often could not. 47 people lost their lives, including one of my neighbors, but countless others would have died if not for the quick action and huge hearts of all of you, Western New Yorkers. In the midst of this, a small Facebook group started during the storm of 2014. That's the one that made sure our highways were closed correctly. Named Aaron Aquilina, grew from just 700 members to 7,000 members to 70,000 members. Erin, together with her friends Kristen, Erica, Jackie, and Lynn, curated thousands and thousands of posts. Erin's Facebook page became a lifeline to people throughout the region. How many of you had a chance to see that during the storm? Hey, my wife, Ashira, she alerts me to all these kind of things. There were desperate people like a woman who thought she had talked to her brother for the very last time as he frantically sought shelter on Jefferson and Broadway. He told her on the phone he didn't think he could hold on much longer. When the overwhelmed National Guardsmen, 911 operators could offer no meaningful response, a man on the Facebook page said he lived nearby. That man personally went out and brought the brother to safety. There was another situation where a woman was in labor and could not get to the hospital. The Facebook group connected her to a pair of doulas who guided her through the phone and helped her to have a safe and healthy child. In another case, and this really did seem biblical, a family actually brought in a body of someone who died into their home and kept it there until the authorities could safely take it back. There were hundreds of other desperate situations. Diabetes patients in need of medication, new parents looking for baby formula, wheelchair-bound individuals caught without caretakers, and people without heat looking for shelter. Each and every time, people came forward. Not just one person, but dozens and dozens and dozens of individuals, all complete strangers, whose only link was this particular Facebook group. Watching it unfold in real time was absolutely awe-inspiring. And this was only a small fraction of the acts of chesed, loving kindness, over those harrowing 5 days. Just by show of hands, how many of you were helped by someone during the storm? How many of you helped someone? What is it that inspired many of us to do so much, often risking life and limb for people they had never met before? More than just offering a shirt, people had been willing to give their full selves, even at the risk of their own lives. Charles Fritz, an U.S. Air Force captain in World War II, led a team of researchers in the early 1970s into disaster-struck areas around the world to conduct interviews. All in all, they conducted 9,000 interviews. Disasters, he proposed, created a quote-unquote community of sufferers that allows individuals to experience an immensely reassuring connection to others. This type of community erases societal inequalities and creates a temporary social utopia. This is exactly what happened to us during the blizzard when we became a community of sufferers. You know, another time this happened, the one time in the last few decades when situations of mental health illness went down more than they ever did. Do you know what time that was? 9/11. For 2 years, there was that spike in society where people felt differently. Reporter and author Sebastian Junger writes that the willingness to give something vital to people we barely know is an essential part of what it means to be human. Based on his experiences in Afghanistan and other war-torn areas, Junger writes, humans don't mind hardship. In fact, they thrive on it. What they mind is not feeling necessary. In a way, those of you that are fasting, that's what we're doing. We're creating hardship and meaning at the same time. The rabbis have a concept called pikuach nefesh, to save a life. Normally, we think of this as an out for observant Jews, if the rules of our tradition place them or someone they know at risk. Pikuach nefesh, for example, is the rule that enables, this is true, pregnant women to eat pork, doctors to work on Shabbat, and astronauts in space, my dad always brought this up for some reason, to use electricity. Saving a life comes first, no matter what. But the example the rabbis used in the Talmud is a child who falls into the water or a deep pit. The Talmud in Tractate Yoma 84b, in both of these cases, tells us that one does not wait for a court of law to decide what to do. Instead, one who is vigilant and acts quickly is praiseworthy. As the rabbis remind us in a line from the Torah portion we read tomorrow afternoon in Leviticus 18, Chai bahem, live by them, to which the rabbis infer and not die by them. If saving one's life is like saving one life is saving the whole world, the rabbis say, then standing by as another person's life is at risk is like potentially destroying the world. We must be there for one another no matter what. Junger tells the story of a true pikuach nefesh moment he had as a young college graduate that stayed with him throughout his life. He was hitchhiking across the Northwest as a way of escaping what he felt was the predictable life in a Boston suburb. He wanted a chance to prove his worth to family and friends. In the middle of the journey by a highway overpass in Wyoming, he noticed a bedraggled man approaching him. He got afraid. He tensed up. He expected in this moment he was going to get robbed. What happened next absolutely blew him away. After questioning Junger about what supplies he had, young man, what do you got there? Where are you going? He said, California. What do you have? A piece of cheese. Then this unhoused man did something completely unexpected. He handed Junger a lunchbox with a bologna sandwich and a bag of potato chips, the only food he had in the world. The incident stayed with him the rest of his life and became the foundation of his book that Cantor Frank introduced me to, actually.
I was going to say,
Tribe,
that
yeah.
sounds familiar.
Yeah. This is a wonderful book, well written. It's called Tribe and on Homecoming and Belonging. And I'll put it in our library if anyone wants to take it. In it, Junger suggests that your tribe are the people that you feel compelled to share the last of your food with. The term he uses is a tribe. And of course, that stood out to me as a rabbi. Jews and Judaism can be called many things. We're a faith, a religion, a nationality, ethnicity, a civilization. But we can also be called a tribe. And adapting the definition in the book to our community, perhaps we best define ourselves in one simple way. We Jews are people that are a collection of people willing to give the shirt off of our back to anyone who needs. More than Torah, Talmud, tradition, prayer, this is the way we can describe ourselves standing on one foot. Watching you, my beautiful congregation aside, please don't blush. I have seen the generous spirit that infects this place. Again and again and again, over the course of this year, members of our community have brought meals to the homebound, helped individuals experiencing medical crisis get to safety, offered an ear to listen, a shoulder to cry on, a meal to eat, a stranger and friends alike. We do this not only for one another, but to whoever walks through our door. 11 years ago, during our first high holidays, I invoked the memory of the three spiritual leaders who set the foundation of who we are. Nathan Gaynor, who was the first rabbi of Temple Sinai, Daniel Kerman, who's the sanctuary is named after, the first rabbi of Temple Beth Am, and Cantor Susan Whaley. Each of these individual peoples worked tirelessly to support the needs of our members, pouring their hearts and souls into making our lives better. And each of these individuals died tragically young. I called them our Malachei HaSharet, our ministering angels. In that first Yom Kippur together as Congregation Shir Shalom, I invoke their memory, calling out in their names, "We were there for you. We were there for you. Now be there for each other." That was my hope and dream for this new community when we officially incorporated in 2012. To be a community of compassion, of kindness, and generosity. For us truly to be, as Psalm 97 tells us, Or zarua lat tzadikim u'liyishrei lev simcha, a light to the just, a joyous reminder to the upright. And I can honestly say with my full heart that here in 5784, this is more than just who we aspire to be. This is who we have become. This past year has been a hard year for myself and my family. We have gone through a lot of health concerns and post-pandemic struggles. Because of this, I haven't always felt my best. Sometimes I have come into the office feeling less than ready to do the duties of the day. I have not always felt the usual spark that I normally feel as a rabbi. This is disappointing to me because I don't want to disappoint you. And yet, as deflating as it has been, I could not really ever get discouraged. But each time I even thought of being discouraged, one of you would step up to the plate. Whether it was Cantor, who worked tirelessly to make every single Friday night and our holidays beautiful, and I really appreciate all the hard work she put into that. Joanne being here every second of the day, at any hour, literally. Nancy and Renee, always going above and beyond. Our executive committee and board of directors, Todd, who's not here, who literally was in this building every single minute to make sure it was ready for Rosh Hashanah. And our Shevetas team, the Women of Shir Shalom, men's group, worship, community religious school, our new adult education, social action committees. Yay, we finally have them. I would list names, but basically it would be every single person here. When I was at my lowest, it was all of you, as the psalmist said, Min ha-metzer karatiya. From the depths, Yah called out to me, Anani b'merkavah, and you and God answered me from the emptiness. Thankfully, I'm doing much better, and I can't thank our board and community enough for all the support my family has been given along the way. Today is the day where we demonstrate our accountability to one another and to the greater world. To that end, if there's anything that I have done personally to hurt any of you, especially this year, I hope you'll forgive me. I'm truly sorry. As Isaiah admonished our ancestors thousands of years ago on the Haftorah of Yom Kippur, is this the fast I desire? A day to starve ourselves, bow our heads like a bulrush, to lie in sackcloth and ashes. No, this is the fast I desire, to unlock the fetters of the wickedness, to untie the cords of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. It is to share your bread with the hungry and to take the wretched poor into your home. And when you see the naked, clothe them. I told you it was a mitzvah. This last line is, after all, to give the shirt off your back. And as a reminder and as a gratitude, I have a present for all of you here today. It is a little sticker which says, I'd give you the shirt off my back. You can put it, as Shira showed me, you can put it on your water bottle. It works very well. Or on you, or you could give it to someone. It's completely up to you. We'll have it ready for you after services. And this is a little token of who you are, and you should be very, very proud of it. I want to thank Seth Green and his company, Market Domination, for preparing this wonderful thing for me. But really, it's wonderful, and I really appreciate all your love and support. Gemar Chatima Tova. May you be written and sealed in the book of life, an easy and meaningful Yom Kippur. I feel like I want to say, talk amongst yourselves. So we'll have, if Joanne's in the back, just make sure we'll have these ready. I see she's already doing her magic. Okay, so let's stand up. We're gonna stretch a little bit. We can think, and then we'll get to the Baruch Hu. Our call of community, how appropriate, is on page 22. Page 24, we read together. Blessed are you, Adonai, your great name fills the universe with majestic might. Your word creates twilight and dusk. As your wisdom opens the gates of night, your discernment separates the changing seasons and causes the passage of time. The stars arrayed across the sky reveal your design. You roll out a cycle of darkness and light, shaping day and night. You sweep away day and carry the world into nightfall, setting day apart from nighttime. You are God of all we can perceive and all that is beyond our perception. Living, eternal God, be our sovereign to the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv Raviv. We turn to the Shema 28 and 29. Seated. We turn to the next page of the V'ahavta. I'd like to invite up Mark and Marina Finkelstein to lead us in the prayer. Page 30. And it will go immediately to page 32. It's a little bigger if you want to use this one. It's up to you.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושנתן לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ושרתמיות על ידיך להיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתיהם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
We continue with another biblical passage, the Michamocha, the crossing of the sea, page 40. I'd like to invite up Tom Lansing to read for us For Every Exile, if you want to.
For every exile who walked out of Egypt between walls of water, for everyone who remembered the feel of sea bottom underfoot, the sibilant roar of water rearing on the right, on the left, someone forgot. Someone scanning the dry horizon for a well, or already mourning the musky smell of autumn in her father's fig trees, forgot the hosannas, and by the bitter waves of Mara, forgot the flash of dancing feet, the shimmer of timbrels. For every proselyte at Sinai, someone never heard of horns at all. Someone turned back from the mountain to bank the fire, feed the baby, steal a secret moment with another. Revelation begins in attention. While the elders trembled before the word of God flowing down the scorched north flank of Sinai, someone, rising from a last long embrace, gazed into the rapt face of the beloved and saw that it was good.
Page 42, Hashkivenu. And please sing with the cantor and choir if you can.
Hashkifenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, v'hamidenu Malkeinu Rechaim. Hashkifenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, v'hamidenu Malkeinu Shalom, v'hamidenu
I invite you to rise as we move towards the Amidah, the introductory prayer, which is on page 45, Ki Vayom. We continue with our silent prayers from page 46 to page 82. Feel free to pray the Hebrew, the English, or just the prayers of your heart. And whenever you're ready, you may be seated. turn to our confessional prayers, page 82, which begins with Tavo Lefanecha. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. I invite you to rise. As one of the more powerful customs of Yom Kippur, we take our fists, not to slam it against our chest, but as a reminder, we're going to do better next time. This is an acrostic that Cantor will lead us in, and each of these we tap as a reminder, and it's collective together. All of us have done things that we wish that we could have back, and this hopefully will help us to find better ways.
Aganu,
page 86 and 87, please join with me for the Alfate. The ways we have wronged you deliberately together, and by mistake and harm we have caused in your world through the words of our mouth. The ways we have wronged you by hardening our hearts, and harm we have caused in your world through careless speech. The ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and harm we have caused in your world through gossip and rumor. The ways we have wronged you by judging others unfairly, and harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers. The ways we have wronged you through insincere apologies, and harm we have caused in your world by mistreating a friend or neighbor. The ways we have wronged you through violence and abuse, and harm we have caused in your world through dishonesty in business. For all these failures of judgment and will, and of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement. We turn to page 99. It's at this moment when we pour our hearts out, we just want to be listened to. I'd like to invite up Sheila Bernard Tucker to read for us, Will You Hear My Voice?
Will you hear my voice, you who are far from me? Will you hear my voice wherever you are? A voice calling aloud, a voice silently weeping, endlessly demanding a blessing. This busy world is vast, and its ways are many. Paths meet for a moment, then part forever. We go on searching, but our feet stumble. We cannot find that which we have lost. Perhaps my last day is already drawing near. Drawing close are the tears of parting. I will wait for you till my days flicker out, like Rachel waiting for her beloved.
At the top of 98, Shema Kolenu.
closer to finding you as we turn to you, as we learn from you. Kadesh Yameinu, renew our days, renew our days once again. Shema Koleinu Adonai Eloheinu Chos v'rachem aleinu Chos v'rachem aleinu.
As we move towards the end of this petitionary part, praying that God will forgive us, there's two cards that we haven't used yet. One is to say, we're your people, God. Please believe us. And then afterwards, you're our parent. So we turn to that joyous moment of connection, page 106, where we talk about the bonds we have together. I'd like to invite our past presidents to open our ark as we turn to the Avinu Malkeinu 114 and 115. We'll read it responsibly in the English as we rise. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, hear our voice together.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you.
Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and on our families.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the reign of those who cause pain and terror.
Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives and well lived.
Avinu Malkeinu, renew for us a year of goodness.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our eyes behold the dawn of redemption.
Avinu Malkeinu, we pray, do not turn us away from you with nothing.
Avinu Malkeinu, welcome our prayer with love, accept and embrace it.
Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name.
Avinu Malkeinu, act for your sake, if not for ours.
Avinu Malkeinu,
you are alone
our sovereign.
Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayers.
Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice, treat us with tender compassion.
And together, Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu V'aneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu V'aneinu, V'yein banu ma'asi. Asei banu, tzedakah v'chesed. Asei banu, tzedakah v'chesed, ve'oshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, V'yein banu ma'asi.
We remain standing for Aleinu. It's not enough for us just to pray. We need to go out and do good work in this world. 116.
Aleinu neshomer
Be'at ladon hakol, latei v'dulav yoseh b'reshit, shelo asan kikoye haratzon,
velo samanu kimishkot adama shelo sam erkeinu kahem v'go aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu morim
u'mishtakalim u'odim, lifnei melech malchei
Malachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
118. You may be seated. We turn to the Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 122. If you look around the room, as is customary at synagogues around the world, all of our lights are lit. This is a day when we have Yisker tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And so that's why we light all the names, but there are names specific to this week. First of all, we had a number of losses this past week. Diane Simons, who is the mother of Dr. Andrew Simons, and Ariel Goldstein, a young 32-year-old that died in our community. We also are thinking about Lenore Bleckman, Eleanor Bloom, Kim Brodsky, Annette Callett, Carla Weissman, and Colette Zappia, all who died in the last month. On our yard site list from years past, we're remembering Bet Arwitz, Albert Ashkin, Gloria Atlas, Joe Berger, Estelle Borowitz, Dora Brody, Leo Berwick, Sarah C. Carr, Lorraine Cherbo, Cynthia Cohen, Charles Colbert, David Citron, Zita Frayden, Edward Froelich, Grace Gluck, Benjamin Golden, Nathan Gordon, Abe Gottlieb, Rita Green, Joseph Hirsch, Jane Sela Heskins, Leo Kahn, Kenneth Karch, Ann Katz, Julia Coffin Sugarman, Esther Kirchner, Jack S. Knopp, Harriet Shustek Korn, Faye Lattis, Saul Levinson, Paul Lieberman, Max Lieberman, Jean Lyons, William Mintzer, Adele Muller, Leo Muller, Bernard Polikoff, Milton Reingold, Susie Revo Solinder, Pauline Rosikoff, Simon Rubin, Eli Ruckenstein, Marjorie Slisserman, Edward Schunk, Edith Schwartz, Mervyn J. Schwartz, Louis Shapiro, Isidore Simon, Max Slonim, Susan Solinder Bayless, Benjamin Starsky, Marshall Strauss, Sam Sabatnik, Sophia Weinstein, Minna Winiger, Jack Yeloff, and Bella Zebrook. If there's other names we have not mentioned, just raise your hand.
Nick Kirkbride.
Howard Shear.
All whose custom it is to rise as we recite the Mourner's Kaddish, just be aware there is an extra word in the middle. Yidkadal v'yidkadash shemei rabbah v'alma divrach eretei v'amlik malchutei v'chayachon v'yamachon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael v'agalau v'izman kari v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach leolam omei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yidnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudesha rechu. Le'ela u'le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechamata. Damiran b'alma v'yimaru amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imramein. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace bestow peace upon all who mourn. May we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say amen. Amen. You may be seated. Zikranam livracha. I'd like to invite over Bruce Chorus to offer our announcements.
Lishana Tova again, everyone. Rabbi, you've got some schmutz on the back of your robe. I wondered what it was. No, wondered what it was.
Do you want my robe?
Only if you clean it first. Anyway, we would like to, of course, thank Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, Ivan Dalchenko, David Meyer, our professional choir, for a wonderful service on this most solemn of evenings, but yet a joyful evening as well. And if tonight's service brought you comfort in some way, I hope it did, because it was a very comforting service to me. Tomorrow morning, we will be back with the morning service at 10:30. We will have Yitzker at 1 o'clock. That is a change this year. We've moved it up. We have reflections at 2 o'clock this year. We're broadening things out a little. It's personal, but it's covering basically the entire world because it is science and religion, and it's going to be a really interesting reflections this year. Then family service at 3 o'clock, healing service at 4:30, Mincha Torah / Nila service at 6 o'clock, and then breakfast right after that, after the final shofar blowing. That's going to be around 7 o'clock, depending on him. If you have made your reservation for that, there'll be directions on entering the social hall. We want to thank, of course, Tara, Stephen, and Sadie Cross, and Rabbi Alex Lazarus Klein for sponsoring our breakfast. It's a tradition that we are bringing back this year, which is gathering in person to break fast in the building. So that'll be nice. It's catered by Johnny C's, by the way. As we move forward past Yom Kippur, we have all sorts of stuff coming up. The men's group is going to be building the sukkah on Wednesday at 5 o'clock. If you're able to help, it would be appreciated. No experience necessary, no mechanical aptitude necessary. That's important in this congregation. Thursday night corner reading is this week, 7, and it's in person and virtual. Perfect. We are going to have a new member Shabbat coming up Friday, October 20th, and we're going to have a potluck dinner beforehand. We haven't had a potluck dinner in years, and it's another thing we're going to bring back so we can get together prior to our Shabbat service and dine with each other and schmooze and have a wonderful time. So that's really nice. That's Friday, October 20th. Potluck dinner is at 6. Bring your favorite dish to share. And then, of course, the service, we will be welcoming and honoring all our new members with blessing and gift, followed by a festive Oneg Shabbat. Please join us that night as we welcome our new members to the Shir Shalom family. We have something really special coming up, presented by our Adult Education Committee and sponsored by Michael Berger. Thank you for doing this. It is called Jews of All Hues, and it is on the first Friday of each month from November through next June. We'll be having a special Shabbat. We will be highlighting different regions of Judaism from around the world, followed by a special Oneg Shabbat catered by Zach Rosenblum, which will feature a regional appetizer and dessert reflective of that month's topic. So we will travel the world of Judaism each month here at Congregation Shir Shalom. That sounds like it will be really, really interesting and fun at the same time. Thank you to those of you who have already brought back your bags filled with food for our high holiday food drive. If you haven't done so tonight, please bring it in tomorrow. One of the most important things we do each year is to have this food drive, and you guys are so generous in bringing in food, and there is no better mitzvah than feeding the hungry. Thank you to Todd, who, of course, as we know, is not here this evening, and his crew from TLS Landscaping, because they cleaned up our cemetery plot at Whitechapel, and they do that every year, and it is a wonderful mitzvah. And you had your service there today, 1 o'clock. So it's a chance for members to go back and remember their loved ones in Whitechapel, and the place looks great. So thank you to Todd and his crew for doing that. It's a wonderful thing. I want to thank our communication committee. They do so much for us all year long to make sure that you guys know what's going on around here. And it's greatly appreciated. If you need anything during the high holidays, during the services, please look for one of the ushers wearing the boutonniere. Look for Joanne, look for myself. Leave the rabbi and cantor alone during the service. But after the service, they're fair game. L'shana Tova, a happy new year, a healthy new year, a safe new year, a better year for everyone. And thank you for being part of this wonderful Shir Shalom family. A better year.
Also, if you are fasting, just remember your health comes first. So if you see someone that needs help, please turn around. We do have a lot of doctors in our congregation. I always say the safest place to have some kind of medical problem is in a synagogue. We are going to turn to page 127 for Hashivenu and our closing hymns. 127. The closing or? Yeah. Okay. We're just discussing, don't mind us. Okay, all right, we're gonna have some music as you're leaving. So as you came in peace, may you leave in peace. Please return your Maksarim to the front minus the leaflet and a good, easy, meaningful Yom Kippur. Sam Kol and Gemar Chatima Tova.
We gather here as another year begins. We pray you give us what we need. But this broken world needs our help to heal. Be a shining light, see your dreams realized. Baruch atah Adonai, mevarech hashanim. Baruch atah Adonai, this is our year to dream. Hayom tevachinu. Amen. Hayom tekadlenu. Amen. Hayom tidrashenu letova. Amen. Hayom tiktefenu lekayim tovim. Hayom tishma shavatenu. Amen. Hayom tiknefenu b'nitzitecha. Hayom tehamsenu. Amen.
Yay, thank you. Awesome.